Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Launch. So glad you could join us. Today, we're going to be talking with the fabulous, the amazing Manda Stack. She is an oracle and she's amazing when it comes to clearing out that energy that we just don't need anymore. And energy is never created or destroyed, it's only transmuted. And so sending that back to where it can be recycled for appropriate purposes. So, Manda, welcome. Would you care to tell us who you are and what wonderful things you're doing in the world?
Thank you, Davia. And I just first want to say thank you for this community. I've really been enjoying getting to know all the women, and it's a remarkable group and energy that you have created here. So I'm really honored to be the guest here today. And thank you, Davia. So hi, everyone. My name's Manda Stack, and I am an intuitive coach and energy clearing specialist. And I'm so excited today to talk about energy clearing and how we are all energetic beings. And the way that I got into this work was since childhood, I was always so sensitive. And the word empath is something that maybe some of you can relate with if you feel really sometimes overly connected to other people, to how they're feeling, or if they're experiencing physical pain, if you kind of take that on yourself, that type of thing. I have been very open to energy from other people and physical spaces all my life. And I didn't have the language or the understanding about what it was for the longest time. I just thought there was something wrong with me because no one else was really talking about it. I remember I was 14 years old and my family went on a vacation and we stopped to visit for a few hours an old college friend of my dad's. I'd never met this man or his family. And his wife had passed away from breast cancer, sadly, a few months previous to our visit. And I remember walking into the house and they did introductions, and I remember just feeling just this really heavy energy, and it almost looked like there was fog in the home. And of course there wasn't. It was just my way of perceiving that there was a lot of sadness and maybe some lingering energy from the grief and the illness in the home. And I remember looking to the adults like, don't you experience this? Aren't you seeing that something's a little off here? And that type of thing happened to me so often that I just learned to keep quiet about it. And again, I thought something was wrong with me. And maybe some of you listening can relate with that you could easily experience or feel when things were off energetically, but maybe didn't really have the words or the language for it, or weren't affirmed or taught about energy. So I started learning about energy work and started training in it, and eventually became certified in it because I found that it really helped me with my own energetic boundaries to figure out what was mine and what was not mine, and to really be able to finally move around in the world much more easily without being bombarded so much.
I absolutely love that. And, the women who have joined us here on the call today, I'm guessing that you all probably have some kind of experience as far as this goes, and probably you identify as an empath or something of that nature. So I'm just going to ask you to unmute, and maybe we can start with Jamie, since Jamie didn't get a chance to share before. Jamie, are you in a position to join the conversation?
Yes, hi.
Okay, great. So, I would just like to know, would you say that you identify yourself as an empath? Are there any pieces of Manda's story that kind of resonate with you?
I mean, I've never officially really thought that. I mean, I definitely have feelings as you've described in sometimes, but I've never really identified that way officially.
Officially, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself an empath, but I
Mhm.
definitely do have that I feel.
Empathy, sure. How about you, April?
Mhm. I've never thought of it that way. I mean, there are just some times where
I know I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, and other times where I'll walk into somewhere and it's like, no, I need to not be there. That's as close as I can come, but I'm really interested in being able to learn a little bit more. So that's why today the call was just really perfect timing.
Awesome. How about you, Marianne?
Yes, I've always felt people's feelings and energetic in rooms so very strongly. So yeah, I've never claimed that, but as a spiritual guide, I think that's probably attuned to the same. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Manda, can you talk a little bit more about this idea of being an empath? Because I've heard it's a term I've definitely heard a lot of before. And like Jamie says, I'm not really embracing that as something that I am officially. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, and I appreciate that, Jamie and Davia. I don't know that I'd actually call myself an empath either. That, not to really pigeonhole any of us, but if you think about the difference between the words sympathy and empathy, sympathy is being kind of having good boundaries and being, having, some sadness for someone's situation and being able to be there for them, but still be in your own centered energy. And empathy is really taking it on and taking it into yourself, where you sometimes lose your own sense of self and center. So I love breaking down the terminology to help us understand that. And if any, I've heard from each of you that yes, you can identify with kind of taking on some other people's energy or feelings or bad moods or whatever. So my mission is to help us claim that we are all energetic beings, that we don't end at our skin, that we're always constantly sending and receiving energetic information, and that's actually how we're created to be. And we came into this world with the ability to relate with people. And sometimes people are born really open and energetically open. Sometimes they go through childhood difficulties or trauma, which makes them hyper aware and extra sensitive. Or sometimes children, are really sensitive, but then they just kind of shut that down for many years. And then later in life, they kind of remember how they were as children. Like maybe they had some invisible friends that they spoke with, and it all kind of starts coming back to them. And they reclaim that, because I really believe that it is a gift to be able to tune in and have that energetic connection with people. My mission is to help people balance that so that they're not swept away in other people's energy, and so they're not that they're too closed off or put a barrier around their heart. I remember one of my coping mechanisms was to withdraw, because life felt really loud and being with people was uncomfortable. I remember going to various friends' houses in the neighborhood, and some of the houses felt happy and joyful and light, and others felt heavy, and I didn't like being there. But again, I didn't have the language for it. So when we are centered and grounded in our own clear energy, it really goes a long way to helping us navigate wherever we are, whoever we're with, so that we don't leave an encounter with someone feeling drained or taking on their bad mood. So we can really walk in this world, in our own inner strength and energy, clear energy.
So, how do we do that? How do we stay in our own clear energy? Because I can totally 100% appreciate walking into a space or encountering a person and feeling a different way, feeling the shift in the energetics. How can we make sure that maybe on a daily or an event-based period, how can we keep our own energy clear?
Mhm.
How can we
Yeah.
even know what's ours and what's the others?
Exactly. One really basic practice that I use that I'll offer up for everyone here is in the morning before you leave the house, when you're still kind of, you've had a night's sleep. And when we sleep, actually, what happens is our energy just kind of comes around us and integrates. And so that when we wake up, hopefully after a good, refreshing night's sleep, we're kind of reset. We've been rebooted. So one simple practice is in the morning to do what I call a baseline reading. Like just take some breaths and notice how you're feeling physically. If you have any tightness or pain anywhere, how you're feeling emotionally, how you're feeling spiritually. And then once you have that and you head out for your day, then it's much more easy to notice when something bumps up against you energetically that isn't yours, where, suddenly you get a pain in the neck and like, oh, why? There's really no reason. So just having that clear intention of what really is yours in the first place before you start your day is a really good grounding thing to do every day in the morning.
We have a couple of people joining us over on Facebook. Robin says, I am an empath / highly sensitive. I'm learning to protect my energy and clear it before and after being with others. I didn't have awareness for what this is until last year. Learning my human design supported with that. And then Christy says, resetting is important self-care and definitely in line with human design, Robin. So they're having their own little conversation over there. But what does that invoke for you?
Yeah, human design. If anyone here hasn't learned about that yet, it's an amazing tool to give you some insight into how you are created to manage energy in this world with other people, with making decisions. So yes, I would second that. Human design is an excellent resource, and it's it's a challenging thing sometimes, especially these days in the world with so much going on, swirling around. It's so easy to get swept away by the collective wider fears and emotions. So yeah, protecting energy is another piece of it. And my work is about energy clearing, providing energy clearing sessions for other people, because from my own experience, I know that I can do all the meditation and mindset work and yoga for myself, and that really goes a long way to help. But I also know that sometimes I need help getting things cleared from me that I'm too close to, that I can't see. So even as a practitioner myself of energy clearing, I receive regular energy clearings just to help, keep my own system clear.
Interesting. So say a little bit more about what it is that you do. Is it something that you can explain to us a little bit?
Sure. Yes. Energy clearing is a beautiful way to clear the energy of your energy field. Sometimes it's described as invisible acupuncture. So this work is kind of like, but without the needles. So I go in and clear layers, kind of like if you've ever had an acupuncture treatment. When you stick a needle in one area, it kind of frees up the energy to flow more freely. And so if you can imagine like your physical body, you have an energy field as well that sometimes gets blocked up or stopped or stagnant. And sometimes it's from things even from long ago, from childhood, these old patterns that are kind of clogging up the works. And so it's like me being mindful for you and being able to tune in and clear those places. And again, sometimes it's hard for us to see our own stuff. And, you know, when someone else comes in who holds a neutral, loving space to dissolve those stressed energies, that that can be a really powerful thing. And my sessions are done both virtually, like this Zoom video. In fact, I built my business working with people around the world. And now recently I've opened an on-site office. So here, I don't know if I'm in Wisconsin, so if anyone listening is in the Southeast Wisconsin area, I do see people in person as well in my office, as well as virtually. In a session, it takes about an hour, and it's like this where we talk with each other and I tune in and I get intuitive impressions that I share. And very often when a person's receiving an energy clearing, what probably the most common thing that they express is that they feel much more relaxed and more calm, and they feel lighter. I hear that over and over again from people who've received clearings.
So, who would be a good person to reach out to you? What kind of person would need your kind of services? And I'm asking this question from the point of view of somebody who has taken advantage of your services and found it to be tremendously helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, it's anyone who is feeling weighed down or having been in difficult experiences or at a crossroads, anyone who's going through some sort of transition in life. My passion is actually working with business women and helping them get clear about their, you know, their own lives and wonderful steps that they can take in moving their business and their work forward. I remember working with one entrepreneur who was really successful, and she harbored this secret desire to kind of shift her her niche in a way that was much more aligned with her, but she was holding back out of self-doubt and fear. And it was over a year that she really wanted to do this. And when I did her energy clearing, what was fascinating is that the very next day, a podcaster reached out to her in this very niche that she was looking to get involved in, and asked her to come and be interviewed on the show. And amazing things like that happen when I see that repeatedly. When we are more in balance, it's like the external world shifts to accommodate that and opens up new opportunities. So it may not look like much is happening during an energy clearing, but there's a lot of energy shifting, and I think we often underestimate really the power of the energy when, you know, the power of it when it's in flow and in balance, and also the way that it affects us when it's stagnant or blocked.
I find this whole conversation, and you guys might remember, it could have been last week or maybe the week before on Ladies Power Lunch Coffee Break, we actually were talking about intuition and just some of the things that are a little less tangible that actually affect our lives and our businesses. I have to say, I am a recovering researcher. My position in corporate was in pharmaceuticals. I worked at the university in a lab doing, you know, research when I was in grad school. And this is a little bit outside of the sort of thing that you can do a double-blinded controlled trial surrounding, right? But at the same time, I am not arrogant enough to dismiss things that I don't understand. And so I'm always open to learning new things. And I have to say, Manda, that when you invited me to have an energy clearing, I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't. And I was pleasantly surprised because we had beautiful conversation during our energy clearing. And then afterwards, I feel as though perhaps I might be similar to the woman that you mentioned in your story, because afterwards I noticed doors started opening up in a way that they hadn't been opening before, in a very obvious way that they hadn't been opening before. And that's why I scheduled another energy clearing. So I just want to say that I cannot say exactly what happened, but I know something did happen for sure. Robin says, Manda is amazing. She cleared for me a couple of times and it's so effective. Meredith is also over on our Facebook group and she says, love this conversation. Manda Stack is the real deal. I would have to agree with all of those comments, having been a client of yours, and we do need to schedule another one.
Yes, we'll get you set up, Padavia.
Get me in the schedule. So,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what you're offering today as your Free Gift Friday gift.
Yes. So I am so honored to be able to give as a free gift to one lucky winner an energy clearing session with me. And most likely virtually, just like this, unless, again, you live in Southeast Wisconsin and want to come to my office. But virtual energy work is just as effective as in person. So I'm really honored to put that out there for one person to experience an energy clearing. And it's about an hour-long session, and we'll see who it is.
Awesome. And for everybody who, because we're all winners here, right? So everybody else who is also a winner, in addition to the person who wins your special free gift today, is there a way that people can connect with you?
Yeah, stop by my website, mydivineintuition.com. There, I put together a free decision-making guide, 7 ways that you can use your intuition in making good decisions. So on my website, mydivineintuition.com, you will find the free guide there that if you're interested in this conversation and want to play around with your own intuitive abilities and decision making, please download my guide.
Okay, I'm putting it in the intuition, my divine intuition.
mydivineintuition.com.
Okay. I put it in the chat. Hopefully I spelled it right because guys, I was never the spelling bee champion. Just want to share that little nugget. But we definitely will take advantage of your free gift. Somebody here today will win free energy clearing with you. And Manda, what about things that you have coming up that we could all be a part of?
Fantastic. Yes. So my monthly Spirit Circle is coming up. It's always the second and third Monday of the month. So October, what is that? 12th and 19th is coming up. It's a 2-part Spirit Circle of holding sacred space. And it's a very intentional space for 8 people only, because we really focus on an hour together on those 2 Mondays. Going deep and clearing out some of the things that may be blocking us from our true essence. And again, I spoke earlier about how, especially these days, it's so easy to get caught up in the fear and the emotions that are just swirling all around us. So Spirit Circle I created as a sacred container of support for anyone who is feeling off balance and has a dream and vision, but feels like they just keep getting caught up and not able to move forward on it. So it's an excellent opportunity. You know, whenever people get together in an intentional energy like that, like Spirit Circle, there's a real charge and energy and potency to it. So I warmly encourage and invite anyone to check it out. That also is on my website, my monthly Spirit Circle. Every month, if October doesn't work for you, check out November. And my gift for Ladies Power Lunch, anyone, whether you're here live or watching the replay later, is a special 50% off for Spirit Circle. And the code is LPL 2020, and we'll get that code to you too. So LPL 2020, if you're scheduling, if you want to join Spirit Circle, that'll give you 50% off, and I'd really love to welcome you.
Excellent. I love it. Thank you so much for your generous gifts to us today. That's really, really tremendously generous. Really appreciate that. So today on our call, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was able to join. We have Jamie, we have Marianne, we have April, Robin, Christy, Hannah, Meredith, and Donna. And ladies, among you, we are going to choose our big winner. And we're all winners, but our big special winner today is there are no accidents. Our winner is Hannah.
Hannah. Oh, congratulations.
Hannah, you are our winner today. So thank you guys all for joining us today. Manda, do you have any final words to share with us about just keeping our energy clear? Any final thoughts?
Yes, I'm always about the practice. We're often in our heads, so I'm going to lead us out with bringing us more into our bodies and into our good energy, which is here to support us. So I invite you to notice your breathing. Oh, take a nice deep breath and send that warm breath into any parts of you that may be tight or tense. Just allow that breath to sink down into you and feel into your heart and your belly, and know that you are guided. You have inner wisdom that you can always access. And the way into that most clearly and powerfully is through our breath. And so the more we can take little mini breaks like this throughout our day and breathe and come into our bodies, the more access we will have to that beautiful inner wisdom that is there to serve us. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Hannah says, Robin says, congrats, Hannah. And she says, thanks, Manda. Christy says, congrats. Robin says, I could listen to you talk about intuition all day. Meredith says, yay, Hannah. And Hannah says, thank you. There's no coincidence for sure. Believe me, you will enjoy Hannah because she's just lovely. So I look forward to you guys getting together. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And I hope you'll join us back for the Ladies Power Lunch Friday party next week, and join us for our Ladies Power Lunch coffee break, as well as our Ladies Power Lunch Free Gift Friday events. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.